Welcome to the Back to Me podcast, where we help multicultural incoming freshman women and men manage their entire college experience throughout post-graduation to successfully transition into entrepreneurship and corporate workspaces as new hires.
Back to me. Oh, I turned it around. I'm back to me. I finally figured it out. I'm back to me. So when you think you have nothing, back to me. I go back to me. Yeah, I'm back to me.
Hello, everyone. It's your host, Yoli Tamu. Our Campus Care Collective series for Mental Health Awareness Month continues with Elise Sturdivant, Vice President of Student Affairs at Minnesota State Community and Technical College in Moorhead. Mrs. Sturdivant shares how higher ed chose her after growing up surrounded by educators, advocates, admissions recruiters, and financial aid support that helped her feel she belonged, even as a young mom in college. Now serving as the only African-American woman at her college, she leads with cultural awareness, visible presence, and a deep commitment to the whole student through positive intelligence coaching, nervous system regulation, and early alerts that help students access the support they need. Enjoy. This is a great time. We're wrapping up the semester and we're trying to wind down a little bit, and woo, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I met this incredible young lady. How about that? With so much heart and so much spirit. And she was introduced to us by one of our guests, Annika Jackson, and I'm excited about that. She is the Vice President of Student Affairs at Minnesota State Community and Technical College in Moorhead, Minnesota. Miss Elise Sturdivant. How are you, ma'am?
Oh, I am honored to be with you. I'm great today. Thank you.
I'm so excited to talk to you. We had a good conversation the last time, so I know this is going to be good. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me tonight.
Absolutely. Now, Moorhead, I haven't heard of Moorhead. I've heard of Minneapolis. Where's Moorhead?
You go about 3.5, 4 hours west on 94, and you will hit Moorhead, Minnesota, just across the border from Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, close to North Dakota. Okay.
It's really touching it. It's really close. It's the last city before you hit Fargo. And I must say that it definitely is the Great Northern Plains.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited that we were connected. So this is great. It's always wonderful to just really talk to college administrators that are really in touch with the students and, really trying to get to the heart of what the students need, because that's the point. You know what I mean? And so it's an honor to have, you here, especially a Vice President of Student Affairs. So we always start with these motivations. And, I'm always thinking about why higher ed? Why did you choose it? How did you get to this place?
Higher ed chose me. I've had a very colorful career, I must say, but I grew up in Detroit, Michigan in the 70s. And the first 7 years of my life, I spent living in my grandmother's house before my mother wed and we moved to Ann Arbor, Michigan. All the women in my family are smart and highly educated. I come from a village that we believe education is the means to improving our situation. The exposure shifted when I did move from the urban setting of Detroit to the suburbs of Ann Arbor. It was an adjustment. However, what I enjoy most about that diverse experience is I never lost my connection to the city, still maintain my connection to my family, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. But I always remained active and engaged in extracurricular activities, but I became active in swimming, archery, and heightened awareness of global citizenry, I'll say that. Living in Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti, Michigan helped shape who I am today. I say that because Detroit is still home and I'm very passionate about it. I still spent all my summers there as a youth. What motivated me was my experience in high school. I went to Willow Run High School in Ypsilanti, and I had some phenomenal teachers. I had great counselors, people who really advocated for me, and a community and friendships that I hold near and dear to this day. How I got into higher ed is the push to go to the University of Michigan, because that was like a really big deal for me to be the first in my family to get accepted there. But the financial aid counselor was so good to me. The admissions recruiter was good to me. I still remember their names and have since stayed in contact with them. My first academic advisor was a man who was just real committed to seeing me succeed. So my higher ed professionals were very instrumental in me committing to getting back to higher education. But it was a woman who was in student affairs when I switched over to kinesiology my second year of college. Like the second half of that year, I gave birth to a son in my sophomore year while at Michigan. And he just became my all, right? And that was determined at that particular moment that I was not going to stop going to college. Yes, I was at a traditional institution, but I said no. And I did what I needed to do sometimes. But the support that I received from the School of Kinesiology was the division of kinesiology back then, but it's grown. So it reminded me of what love really is. When people advocate for you and say, no, you belong here. Don't listen to the naysayers. You belong. And that's how I came back to wanting to serve students, because people served me.
That's right. That's great. Yes. I think in general, that's why a lot of us are mentors, educators, because it was done for us.
Listen, that experience changed my life. I can tell you, the woman who I admired so much, who was the student affairs professional in that division, Shelley Kovacs, I still to this day consider her a sponsor and a really genuine confidant. And I've been out of school many moons now. But it's those relationships
Yes.
that really kept me going in the midst of trying to juggle, having a child in school, working, and just really finding who I am at such a young age. It was very instrumental. And I always have had an affinity for higher education. And I want to see other students and other people persist and do whatever they want to do and support them as best I can.
Mm-hmm. Powerful story. I mean, we talked about you coming from Detroit, and you say now that you commute back and forth with Detroit and Minnesota, correct?
I do. I travel back and forth.
My goodness, that's a commitment.
It is. And I commit to the work. I wanted to have expansion. So I work at Eastern Michigan for 12 years, but this opportunity to become vice president here was worth it. Growth and expansion and the awareness of, hey, you can do this in this environment.
Mm-hmm.
I can survive. It's totally a different culture, but I've really been embraced and the people have been very respectful. And the opportunities that I've continued to receive to grow as an individual, but to touch student lives, is more about the students than anything. And I really do love and appreciate students. I'm the best hug giver, I must say.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you bring all that cultural experience from Detroit to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you and I talked about the diverse community there, right?
Absolutely. So I'm at M State, what my college goes by. I work with a lot of students who are quite diverse. We have a big student body that include Indigenous, people who are Latinx, people who are from the African diaspora, and quite frankly, a big Norwegian Dutch community that reside in this area. So it has been an adjustment for me getting used to different cultures and learning how to embrace students of Muslim faith and learning how to be open to diverse populations and learning. That has been the expansion that I was looking for and the growth that I'm grateful that I've had thus far. Working with people who don't look like me, as I am the only African American woman at the college, but it doesn't keep me from being successful at doing the work and making connection with our students.
Right. Because humanity is humanity, no matter where you go.
You said it, that's the word. And students feel that, right? And that allows us to convey and really connect and make that connection. And that's the key for me, is to be able to listen to the students, have open conversation and dialogue to understand what their needs are, that's what it's all about, and continuing to adjust to rise to the occasion for our students.
That's fantastic. Well, with all that said, and we're here in this Mental Health Awareness Month, and this is a major topic on campuses around the world. Just when we thought we were getting a hold of ourselves and our mental state, more drama unfolds in our world. So, what are some of the concerns on your campus from students of this diverse community that you serve?
You know, anxiety has no color. Students really do complain and express how stressed and frustrated they are with what's happening on the global scene right now. Scared about the future is the number one thing I'm hearing as I listen and connect. And the nervousness about being able to afford life beyond college and questioning everything about, does it matter? Why try? This feeling of hopelessness is permeating across our various campuses. We have 4 campuses, and maintaining the connection throughout like middle and western Minnesota is important, but it's pretty consistent. Students are expressing those concerns, yet and still they still rise to the occasion and are sharing with us how they're feeling. And we're creating space and opportunity not only within our student life, but we do have counselors and social workers on staff. And that does make a big difference. So the connectivity and being able to be visible for students also is important.
So would you say that it's a depression of some sort for them not knowing about the future, or just feeling as if they're not prepared, like they don't have enough career prep or something? Or is it just depression?
I think that our students are leaving prepared. They're graduating prepared. I do enjoy this community college setting and the technical aspect of it. So they're getting the skills that they need. Actually, this semester, we embarked on a mental health and well-being survey, and students gave us some really good information and feedback and give us a clue on what we need to hone in into more, not only this summer semester, but as we prepare to launch for the fall. Because do you believe it? It'll be here before you know it.
I mean, it's over. Yes,
Yes,
the
our
semester.
graduations are next week, but I will say that our students expressed 74% on our survey said that they feel comfortable talking with an M-State counselor if they are struggling. And that gave me pause to say, yes, we are, available, visible. They know about us. They know how to come forward, and if they need help, talk to us. But digging more into the data, I won't get comfortable until we tackle a little bit more, because the same mental health and well-being survey this semester said that 46% rated their own mental health and well-being as poor or fair. And I know that's close to the national average, but I'm not comfortable with 50% of our students concerned about their own mental health and well being. So I'm looking forward to coming up with more opportunities to engage with them, to be before them, but also make sure that we listen without bias and judgment, and make some more connections and find opportunities for students to put the devices down and be in motion, in connection, even if it's playing some games. Just being active with each other, I think, is going to be key, to listen and just let them know that they are enough, that they are loved, that they are appreciated, and that their presence matter. So regardless of the global scene, let's continue to press forward and be the global citizens and contribute to our communities as best we can.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say 74%. That's a good number.
That
That's a strong number.
that's a strong number who would come forward if they feel they had a problem.
Mm-hmm. And they feel safe on your campus, like they can go to someone.
Yes, and we don't take that lightly. We do a lot of work to make sure that we're visible, talk to students, and just open up to be inviting so they will come to us. That's important. I try to do that often.
Fantastic. So everything you're saying, it sounds like, of course, just adulting and growing up, we have all those feelings. But do you guys, I guess, emphasize coping skills or coping strategies maybe, or maybe you say that for the counselors to really go deep into, how they would address these things if they could? Because I'm thinking about signs, you know what I mean? When you think about a student that's struggling with stress and overwhelm, when they are just not saying it directly, just telling you straight out, this is how I'm feeling. Hopefully they're going to that counselor, as you said, 74%. That's pretty good. But how do you help them resolve in a few ways, if you can offer for our listeners in a few ways, how to just kind of resolve some of these feelings?
One of the things that I have learned to embrace on my journey is regulating the nervous system and taking time to pause, even if it's for 10 minutes, but doing some more movements, some somatic movements, breathing deep, just get into thought and walk. But the breathing and regulating the nervous system and taking some time to pause. I've personally been trained as a cognitive coach. I've done some positive intelligence. I'm a positive intelligence coach too. But I am fascinated by this nervous system and how impressive it is when we listen to our body. And so I'm often reminding people to just slow down and let's make sure that we're deep breaths and let's walk. We have a wellness center on our campuses as well, and we allow the students to use them for free. And the directors there do a phenomenal job at offering classes and different segments and open dialogue and conversations throughout the semesters as well to connect and engage and invite students to the Wellness Center. The ability for our faculty, staff to share with us when students seem to be disengaged. We look at those care reports quite often, take that seriously. And we do early alerts twice a semester. So that's another opportunity for us to quickly engage and look out for students. So we do look for increased nervous behavior if a student's absent from class more than, once or twice. The faculty will speak up and staff will pay attention if there's noticing an appearance change or behavior is just not what it was. Or throughout the course of the semester, we try to make sure we heighten our awareness, particularly around midterms and this time of year as the semester is winding down, just making sure that we avail ourselves to be present and just pay attention. Particularly, I'm concerned about the student that becomes reclusive and isolate. Those are the students that I want us to figure out how to get them more engaged. And that requires, again, listening to the student, being open to develop a relationship and a rapport with students. I will tell you, if I did not have people when I was going through advocating and looking out for me, it would have been easy for me to hide in the shadows. So I believe it's so important to remain vigilant, not just about making sure a student gets the grades, but that we're working to support the whole well-being of a student and doing more to listen and understand how to get them involved in student government, how to get involved in different activities. We're doing more with intramural sports coming up this fall. It's just an opportunity for us to encourage and foster more dialogue across the different campuses and engage and get them outside and just start talking to their classmates.
Right, right. This is good stuff. Early alerts. That's pretty cool. So does that mean you guys are a pretty intimate campus for faculty to be paying attention?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of early alerts that all of you share.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So it is. It's a very involved, intricate system, but what we find is simple in that you just report it, do the information. They're not showing up to class. You give us what's happening. And the student affairs team, I must say, I tell people student affairs is where the juice is at. We keep the students going to class. It's our work that we do outside the class that's so important, and making sure that we encourage the students to continue to show up. It's not just about getting the tuition dollars. We want to make sure our students are retained and they persist to completion.
I love this. I love this. Because on this podcast, we serve that incoming college freshman that I told you with all that anxiety, and as well as that post grad that's heading out. So the transition of life is everything. So for you all to tap in and grab early alerts of a student.
Yeah, that's very important.
That's powerful.
Yes, we do. And the first year is very important. Particularly, we have success navigators that help with our first year recruitment and our first year students. Our academic advisors are extremely active, and we merge those two. And what's really cool, particularly on our technical college side, is our faculty are involved hands-on, both the traditional and on the technical side, I must say, from freshman year and the second year, and as they prepare to transition to a 4-year or graduate or what have you. I really have found that this community and technical college space just keeps you to the pulse of the community and allows for more involvement, more hands-on. Everyone knows everyone in a short amount of time. That matters. But our faculty are heavily involved, particularly that second year, but it's all hands on deck that first year.
Yeah, that's good to know, because sometimes that's why students go to community colleges. They want that smaller environment, so they feel like they can get that hands-on. So this is...
Yeah, we keep our class size around 20 students.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Well, this has been great. And your students are very fortunate, as I said, to have a college administrator that is passionate about what they do. And you're here because somebody did it for you.
Yeah.
That's everything. That's the connection.
It is. And I would not be here if folks weren't advocating and looking out for me. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm glad to be here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure they're glad to have you. Fantastic. So now, as we wrap up, I always think of our final words of encouragement. And I'm just wondering, for students that are listening that, need to really embrace and feel more valued, more understood, and supported by the staff on their campus. Do you have words of encouragement, how to lead them in a direction to find it?
Yes. I encourage students to speak up, ask for help. Please feel open and comfortable going to someone. There's someone in your circle, someone that you encounter on a daily, or even if you don't see them often, people care. You matter. I encourage students to be comfortable asking for help. I guess the last thing that I would say is, if anyone were feeling like they were isolated, alone, or needed some help, there are resources in the community that can help. But I will always be available. I can be found on LinkedIn. I'm under Elise Sturdivant, Elise Bugs. Sturdivant is my name. I'm always an email away. Elise, Sturdivant at Minnesota, completely spelled out, .edu. And I will always, if I don't have the answer, I'll help you find it. But I believe people need to know that they can always go to someone that really wants the best for them. And it takes a village.
Yes. Ooh, thank you for sharing your contact. So for that listener that's thinking about your college, or even the students that are on your campus that didn't even know that the vice president is available, waiting.
I am here, but I'm here for the people. So thank you so kindly for having me today. And I just want people to know that the sun will come back up tomorrow. Let's continue to persevere and support and love each other. It's some difficult times, but hey, it's so much more to be grateful for and thankful for and look forward to. Life is so much more. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We just got to stay focused. This was great. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you more. Thank you.
All right. You take care. Thank you for joining us. So if you are isolating yourself from others, remember that you're not alone and someone is waiting to support you. So take the first step and reach out. For more information about other episodes, be sure to subscribe to the Back to Me podcast, College and Beyond. I'm your host, Yoli Tamu. Leave a review at the end of this podcast. And if you would like to learn more about other special events, join our community on our YouTube channel at the Back to Me podcast, or simply text Back to Me to 833-206-4565. Until next time, be well.